doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, welcome to the People's Weekly on peoplesradiounited.com. I'm Tim Best Buds. I'm here with Canadian Glenn. What's up, Glenn?
Good afternoon, people.
I'm getting the intro down. I'm starting to memorize what I'm supposed to say now.
It's consistent? Since when?
At least last week, part of it's the same. I'm getting it down good.
Okay.
Look, man, people keep calling me. That's what took me so long to come in. Stop. Leave me alone. Man. So, yeah. Big show today. I'm getting everything sent out so people know the show's on. Hello, Twitch people. Hello, Spreaker people. Last week YouTube show is coming up soon. We're about a week behind on YouTube.
Deal with it.
Yep. So yeah.
This is still such a trip that I can hear the music and stuff.
I was still going on. Pull it down. Yeah, I'm just trying to get all this social media work out of the way. It's so hard to have to retweet something, man. People don't know the horror I have to live. All the work we do for this show. I still haven't even found a tweet.
It's up.
There it is. Okay.
Actually, it was up immediately today.
Yeah, we don't have a Twitch one. Twitch is cool if you guys aren't watching on Twitch. We have a Celeb Scolders in the Twitch chat. What's up, Tim and Glenn? What's up, Celeb? Yeah, the Twitch, you get a cool video that has nothing to do with the show. It just plays over and over again on a loop, so I highly recommend that. That's not funny, it's true.
Oh, it's just the way you said it. It's it's on a loop and it's got nothing to do with the show. So I highly recommend that. It's okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like videos from our YouTube channel. So, I mean, if you want to know what they're about, watch the Activism Live and the People's Cop Watch on our YouTube channel. Those are two playlists, and you'll see these videos with the audio and in color and all that, in context, etc. So yeah, this is a big week in people's radio history. Actually, hopefully we're doing 3 shows this week. The one today with you, Glenn, that we've already started. Another one I don't even know when, with the account at Film the Police from Twitter. And then Friday we're having Bushido Squirrel back on, talking about activism and being a street medic and, just things people can do when they're out there to make sure other people are taken care of if something happens. What do you do, So
I can remember when there were shows with that topic on 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's not a new topic.
No, but I mean, it's just, here we are 10 years later. Still,
yeah, it probably goes back further than that. I would bet you.
No, just for us. I mean,
yeah. I mean, yeah, street. I mean, we've had Tim on. I mean, Bushido Scroll on before, and yeah, it was a good show. But it was during the Occupy. It was during the Occupy ICE camp that was going on.
Yeah,
he was a big part of that at the time. So, new show, new topic. And the other show, I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday or maybe even the following week. I'm trying to get the schedule set. But that's just all about filming the police. Because I think I talked about it before. What I do and what he do, we both film the police, but it's really different. He does it the way you're supposed to do it. I do it some bastardized way. So I think it's good to get somebody on here to tell people how to do it right and how to follow through with things, you know?
Yeah.
I don't deal with the police, so it's hard for me to really report them because I don't want to talk to them. I just want to like tell them how I feel about them, tell them to kill themselves, and then be on my merry way. So yeah. Speaking of police, what were we talking about before the show? Alex Villanueva, the Los Angeles sheriff,
Yeah.
and the Banditos, along with the
Yes.
executioners and all the other gangs in the sheriff's department. Yeah, for people that don't know, in Los Angeles, our sheriff's department has a bunch of gangs operating within it. Like the sheriffs have gang initiations, they have gang tattoos, they have gang colors, they have everything. Little things that they know who's who and what's what. And they started in the prison system, just like some other actual gangs. They are actual gangs. I don't even know why I said that. But some other gangs, you know, more popular. And they're out here murdering people and doing things just to get tattoos, just to get status in their little gangs, their little cliques within the department. And nobody's really addressing, I mean, activists aren't, people on the streets are, but I'm saying nobody within the sheriff's department, especially not Villanueva, nobody's addressing this.
Well,
So
I mean, the time to address this was like in the 80s,
yeah, I was just
you
gonna
know?
say like decades ago.
Yeah, like for real. Because, I read a piece put out by knockla.com, and they've got some really good material on what's going on with the LA County Sheriff. And, I'll just quote a little bit here. There are at least 18 gangs within the LA County Sheriff's Department.
See,
Officials at
that's
ver-
news to me. I thought there was like 4 or 5.
Officials at various government agencies, including the LA County Board of Supervisors, the LA County District Attorney, the California Senate Subcommittee on Police Officer Conduct, and the United States Commission on Civil Rights, have heard testimony on the violence inflicted on communities at the hands of deputy gangs for decades. And yet, there have not been any internal investigations or significant policy changes to address the issue. Deputy gangs have killed at least 19 people, all of whom were men of color, and at least 4 of them had mental illness. LA County keeps a list of lawsuits related to the deputy gangs. Litigation related to these cases has cost Los Angeles County just over $100 million in the past 30 years. There's
Yeah.
your police.
And you know where that money came from. It didn't come from the police pensions. It didn't come from
Nope.
their budgets. They're not being demilitarized or defunded. It comes from the taxpayers' money. So they go crime around and get away with it. What we have to pay for not only their defense but any restitution they have to pay to the victims.
And there's what's wrong with qualified immunity. Right there.
Yeah. I'm still so jealous of New York if that works out. We spoke about that last week.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
New York, for anyone who wasn't, for the few people in the whole world who didn't hear last week's show, New York is supposedly ending qualified immunity for police. So, as I said last week, I'm jealous and I hope we do it out here. And I hope they're really doing it out there, not just saying they're doing it and doing something kind of, I don't know. All I know is under Biden, we've been funding these police, militarizing police at an alarming rate. We got concentration camps. We're upping the people in there, mass deportations. It's like Trump didn't leave. It's just his mouth left. Is that what you guys are seeing in Canada when you look downwards?
In a lot of ways, yes. Like the nuts and bolts, what's actually going on hasn't changed very much at all. But what has changed is what's the right way to put this? What has changed is the presentation of today in the world type thing. I mean, it was put, when you have a lead role like Trump, everything around him has to fit in for it to sell the best. And media for the entire Trump reign tried to make everything either completely dovetail with what come out of his fucking mouth or to be completely opposite to what came out of his mouth. Those seem to be the only two ways the game could be played. Since he's gone, there's nobody else to base that simplistic good, evil, black, white conflict on. Because, that's the whole thing. I thought it was pretty easy for people like Biden to defeat that fairly quickly because he's just not stupid enough to say the stuff that feeds it. It's that simple. So, I mean, that's what's changed. The conversations have changed. No problems have been solved, but the conversations have changed.
Yeah, I was looking at a tweet somebody put out. It was talking about terminology. It was like immigrant detention centers under Biden and concentration camps or, whatever. It's just stupid. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed. There's still concentration camps. They've been concentration camps through Bush, through Obama, through Trump, and now through Biden.
Yep.
Homeland Security and Border Patrol and ICE is getting ramped up. They're feeding them money. They're trying to make these people out to be heroes, which is, I guess, what Germany did with the Gestapo, right?
Well, I think the only difference in the method of sale, like the Republicans seem to be fine with just coming out and saying it. We're going to decide who's an American. And if you're not, well, guess what? We don't give a shit whether you stay, whether you go, whatever. We don't govern for you. We don't care. If you don't fit our mold, we don't care. That was just the flat out straightforwardness. But the Democrats, on the other hand, admit a couple realities. I mean, in a lot of places in the U.S., agriculture, the usual stereotypical jobs like landscaping and domestic jobs, stuff like that. People hire illegals for a reason, because they're cheaper. And what the fuck are they going to do if you rip them off or do something else, right? I mean, there's a reason that these people are there and stay there and more come, because there is a demand. That's the bottom line that pisses me off about the U.S. Nobody ever seems to want to admit that there is a demand for illegal alien labor. And they just refuse to talk about it. And yet, as things go on, you hear about Americans, especially people of color, who have no opportunities for employment at the scale that's necessary. Well, yeah, we still think they're below us, but they're actually Americans, so we can't completely fuck them over like we can illegal labor. This is the big thing, that it's never going to get fixed unless this is talked about. and solved. I mean, it's so American from my viewpoint. The bottom line is cheaper, less cost to me. That's all that matters.
I mean, capitalism is exploitation.
Yes.
You're not going to become a super wealthy billionaire without exploiting others. It's impossible. And
Yep.
if you can take people that are undocumented and exploit the crap out of them, then you make more profits. It's that simple. They don't care about people. They don't care about anything. They're pissed off. They got to pay a minimum wage, raise the minimum wage, possibly in the United States, to a wage that's still not even livable. And they're pissed off about that. Like, God dang, we got to give these people a little more money, not even enough to live on, but just a little more. That really sucks.
Yep.
I mean, how greedy are these people? That was a
Well,
rhetorical question.
it's not just greed, it's the entitlement. There are far too many people in the so called millennial generation, the so called entrepreneurial segment, that just think that's how it is. If I'm nothing but a glorified used car salesman and I want to get into this bullshit and make some quick money, I'm white? Oh, okay. Well, I've already got X amount better chance than anybody else who's just a fucking scammer like me that's not white. You know what I mean? I mean, this is part of a system that's assumed, and they have no reason to change it because they don't want more competition. This is what's wrong with the American way of doing things. Any advantage for me, no matter who I have to denigrate to get it, fuck that. I'll take the advantage. That's their problem. You know?
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man. Because you know who doesn't get, well, people's lives are ruined and they get deported and locked up and lose their jobs and all kinds of stuff. You know who never gets in trouble is the companies that hire the people.
Yep.
Which I don't think it should. I mean, I think they should not be in trouble for hiring the people. I think they should be in trouble for exploiting the people, paying below wages. Because in my mind, people are people. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you're coming from. What is illegal? I don't understand a person being legal or illegal. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, but I
You know what
mean,
I mean? It's just like everyone's legal. They're humans. They can go where they want. It's these idiots in charge that put the little fake line. This is our border. You can't cross here and over here and there. And we'll have this religion here and this government here and this. Screw you. We need to be free. We need to be able to do what we want, move where we want, handle what we got to handle without any oppression.
no, that would be, along the path to the optimum way to deal with it. But, like I said, there's no way that this could remain to be a problem for generations unless nobody really wanted it fixed. And that's because money doesn't want it fixed. I mean, look at how you wonder why the United States has the highest incarcerated count in the world. Well, there's another slave labor force. They don't
Yep.
want a level market. That's so obvious,
They don't want people to be able to survive. We got so many people living on the streets in this country. It's ridiculous, man.
Well,
Just I got people disappeared I can't even find right now because they've been shutting these camps down.
yeah.
It's ridiculous how they treat people, man. And those are people that are from here. They get
Yeah.
treated like that. So imagine the people that aren't from here, how they get treated. Way worse.
Yep.
Because in both cases, these people are invisible to a lot of other people. Like some people will drive down the street and won't notice there's a whole encampment gone. They'll be like, oh, they cleaned it up around here. How nice. But there's fucking people missing, dude. Missing. I don't know where these people are. I'm worried about them. I see these people, you know. I'm looking for specific people that I know good that I could ask what happened, where everybody go, is everyone all right? What what did they do? But nobody's popped up yet. I don't know where they moved them to, what happened, where everybody went. Did they lock people up? They do this stuff late at night. They do it at random times, you know.
Yep. Again, the advantages of the state being used against people.
Yeah, definitely. But it needs to stop. They just cleared another
Absolutely.
spot out near Venice, I think. And it was just a sidewalk next to a Walgreens pharmacy like place and a little strip mall over there. And it was on a little side street. It'd be like maybe 10, 15 tents down that street. Now all the tents are gone, and they got these big planters put up where the tents used to be. That's one of the tactics they use here, is throwing up planters or spikes or strips or making these weird bumps in the cement. Quote
Yeah,
unquote art.
there's a name for that shit. I forget what it is. It's something like proactive architecture.
Yeah, garbage scooters everywhere, bicycle stations. They can have all this corporate stuff all over the place, but God forbid a person who has nowhere else to go can just put a tent on the street. What are they supposed to do? Like out here, man, you don't know this maybe, but maybe you do. I don't know. You know a lot, Glenn, but they have these high-rise buildings. It's like $4,000, $6,000 a month rent, where these like rich,
Yep.
rich, wealthy people go and live there. And right downstairs, when you go outside, like across the street, around the corner, there's people living in tents.
Yep.
Why not build something not maybe not so, I don't mind if it's luxurious and let people live in it, but I mean maybe build something with more units, more features where you can get people to move in there and then find a way that they could stay there. It's stupid, man. Nobody needs luxury apartments for $4,000 to $6,000 a month. Nothing should be $4,000 to $6,000 a month when you're talking about somebody living somewhere. Especially if there's people that don't even have a roof over their head. I was looking at something the other day online. Somebody was talking about, look at this amazing parking lot. It's solar powered. I think it was at a college maybe, or a business. I don't remember. And it runs power to the business from the parking lot and all this and that. It's the future. And I was like, it's a solar parking lot roof. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, so I'm thinking, why can't they, if worst case, why can't they have these empty parking lots all over the place, build these things up there, put power things in, and let people go there where they have a roof over their head, something, and some kind of power to hook up to, charge their stuff, do what they got to do, a light, It's just they don't even want to give them the basics. Not even just a cover from the rain. Because when they go on our overpass to get away from the elements, they get kicked out eventually. Well, we went on a hell of a tangent with this. Sorry, man, but I don't know how something you said got me onto this one. Oh, I know.
No,
I was
but
connecting it. Yeah, I was saying the immigrants are treated worse than homeless people here. And that's pretty horrible.
but the reality of it is, if they were going to build like shelters and charging stations like that, if they could charge admission, they'd build them.
That wasn't
But
the
they
point I was making. I mean, people should
no,
just be
but
able
I
to go in
mean,
online. If the next
I
one open,
know,
the next person in line get in.
I know, but that's why it's not happening. Where's my cut? What do I make? That's, it's the priority by way too much. Way too much.
It's our tax dollars though, so it doesn't really, we don't need a profit. We've already paid it. Just
Oh,
build
but
it.
then, yeah, well, then that's a whole nother issue, but it's definitely related. Why are we going to spend public money on these people that have never donated to us, never helped us? I mean, It's the same problem, just at a different level. There's nothing in it for the people making the decisions. So fuck it. And that's what's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, there should be. There should be a paycheck in it. And if they don't do what we want, there should be a pink slip saying you're fired, get out.
Well,
Yeah,
I agree with
how
that.
come these politicians aren't at will employees? Yeah, I wasn't joking. I was dead serious. They could be fired anytime for any reason without, you know, no problem. Just like every worker in California is an at will employee. Why not them?
Because
They
there's
should
two
be
issues.
they should be subject to whatever we're subject to. The politicians should make the minimum wage of their constituency.
That would invoke two principles that the ruling class has no time for: accountability
Fuck the ruling class.
and responsibility. They have no interest in either one of those words. I didn't steal all this money to be responsible and be held accountable. That's the attitude.
Well, then they need to go work for the corporate world because with our tax dollar, I
Kind of
mean, you're a politician. By definition, you're supposed to do what we tell you to do or need you to do and want you to do. You're supposed to do what's best for your people, not what's best for your pockets.
Is that kind of like how Google's concerned about your privacy? That type of
Exactly the
fuck.
same exact thing. Oh, there's something for you. Have you heard these ridiculous Republicans now? They're he's like, what? Which thing? Now they're saying
Yeah.
these companies can't just do what they want. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I think Clarence Thomas and McConnell were like this. How can these companies just do whatever they want? I mean, wasn't that your whole thing? We need these companies to be able to do whatever they want and have the same rights as people, and corporations are people, and money is a voice, and blah blah blah. Right? Money is speech. Corporations are people, and now they don't like it because some of their people are getting shut down on certain platforms.
Well, I mean,
The
we
problem.
talked about.
I was just gonna say the
Well,
problem is the people that are complaining about being shut down off certain platforms can go on that international news anytime they want. So they're really not shut down off of anything.
that's pretty much my number one evidence of how ridiculous this is. You get these people behind a fucking podium, and they have a title, and news organizations are there because they're going to talk, and they're talking about cancel culture. Like, bitch, you just go sit down. I mean, this is just the height of hypocrisy. You're using free exposure, free platforms to you to bitch that you don't have a platform. Go fuck yourself. It's ridiculous. And then the issue with Citizens United, because of course corporations should have the rights of the individuals so they can give us more money than all the individuals could. But, they're actually reacting to what's going to happen to their brands if they don't come out on the side of their consumers. Hey, wait a minute. You can't do that. Why not? They're just looking after their own best interests after being forced to. I mean, let's not forget that this whole conversation wouldn't even be happening unless some people who are journalists actually started to dig and find out what corporations in Georgia were so on side with voter suppression. They should fucking pay. They shouldn't be involved in it at all.
I think that whole thing to me is a joke, dude. This whole Georgia voting thing. It's ridiculous, one. I mean, it's sick that they're doing it. But, I mean, We don't have voting rights anywhere. The Electoral College in this country makes sure that we have no right to vote. We don't have a democracy.
No, I agree.
So it's like, you got to start over. You can't say, oh, we're worried about Georgia. No, look at us in California. We don't even get a vote, really.
Yeah.
Our vote's thrown away so some inbred hillbilly can go Trump 2020, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely.
then on
I
top of
mean,
that, you're giving basically only two parties have any chance, right?
yep.
And they're both the most fascist, horrible things in the world, and people cheer them on because it's all they got. They want to feel like winners, I guess. I had somebody today telling me why Cuomo shouldn't be fired, but Matt Gaetz should. Why not both of them? And I got to
Well,
keep reminding these Democrats, you're the same party that let Ed Buck drug, murder people, and God knows what else, and get away with it until a public outcry became too big where you just couldn't let him slide anymore. Why? Because he was a huge Democratic donor.
yep.
And the Republicans are the same way. They're all scum. And they're going to talk about morality. Get the hell out of here.
Well, I've never been able to understand how in the 21st century the United States still tolerates the ridiculous system they have for electing president, number one. And, some of the other stuff, this thing about federal voting, every state gets to set their own rules. That's a recipe for failure. I mean, you just simply can't do that. That's like saying, okay, we're going to vote for all-star teams. We're going to let the fans vote, but we're only going to let people in these cities vote. It's the same
Yeah.
damn thing. It's fucking ridiculous.
This country is ridiculous. Oh, hang on, Glenn. You know what we forgot to do today?
What?
People's Radio United.
All right.
Now it's official.
There we go.
Oh, sorry for what? Oh, because you told me to stay out the chat because that's your chat, and you
Oh, I
said you
didn't
have
say
Spreaker,
that.
and the Twitch is my chat, so I got out your chat and said sorry.
It's just that this is the only one I log into to watch. That's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of it now. You better answer right when someone asks a question.
Okay.
No, I have them both up on my screen. It's a miracle that I was able to do this. Technology, huh?
There you go.
So yeah, upload complete. So for all of you who weren't here earlier, we just posted last week's show on YouTube. So you're right on time.
There you go.
I've been busy, but no, I'm gonna post today's show probably tonight. So it'll be on sooner than a week before. A week after, I mean.
But then you're taking away all the anticipation. So I thought this waiting a week thing was just for the build.
Well, but they could just listen to it on Spreaker or Twitch. It's just going to YouTube for the people that just see it on YouTube. Man, it seems like we have so many people listening to our show all of a sudden. But in reality, we have like 2 people on Twitch, 1 person on YouTube, or, 3 people on Spreaker. We're just making it convenient for our 10 audience members.
Well, the Pope can hide a lot better now, too.
Yeah, he's one of 10 people. No one knows which one, so he can kind of say what he wants. As long as he stays, with an anonymous type of name.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
Like,
a terrible place here, and they need to change some things, but it doesn't seem like anyone's interested in doing that. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people interested in doing that and trying to do that, but it doesn't seem like anybody with the power to do so, or anyone within these 2 political parties give a damn about anything or anyone other than their guys.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And just to add to what you said, if you see a screen name out there, Pontifex Pepe, yeah, be careful. You never know who that is. That's a G drop for you.
G drop. Speaking of G drops, you know what's missing today?
What?
Smoker.
Yeah, looks that way.
Where are you,
Yeah.
friendly smoker? Where are you? Yeah, there's the news is so stupid lately, man. Dr. Jill Biden wore fishnet stockings. So you have all these people arguing over how awesome it is she wore them or how horrible and whorish it was she wore them. Which, oddly enough, the people that were calling it horrible and whorish and terrible were people that thought Melania Trump was awesome. So go figure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am on that. Until I see pictures of her naked, I don't really care what she's wearing. You know
Well,
what I
here's
mean?
what I said about it. I said that no matter what Dr. Jill Biden is wearing, she's still married to a white supremacist, fascist warmonger. That's what we should be paying attention to, not what she's wearing. She can wear whatever she wants. I don't care.
True enough. True
I'm going to
enough.
be honest with you, though. If she did dress up like a Care Bear, I would think that was pretty cool.
Furry First Lady?
I was thinking more one of those kind of like amusement park kind of suits, you know, that look like a Care Bear.
That's
The
some
big
pretty
head that goes over the...
That's some pretty serious cosplay. I'd be curious where the dogs come in this fucking scenario now.
Yeah, I needed to be in a specific way, right?
Well, no matter what, I will prefer Dr. Jill Biden to Dr. Sebastian Gorka.
Who wouldn't?
Dr.
Although, let me just say
Sebastian
something.
Gorka.
You can't honestly say that until you've seen Dr. Sebastian Gorka in fishnets, because you got to do the who wore it best thing, right?
I think that only happens at DeVos. They got a room for that.
Oh, wow.
Talk about compromat. Holy shit.
So, yeah, there's more people than ever seem to be believing in the Illuminati and all this crazy stuff.
Well, there's lots of
something,
whack jobs. No, I
What'd
was
you
going to
say?
say there's lots of whack jobs that need a new home for their crazy. So, you know, bring out all the old psychotic conspiracy value chains and see who can pick up all the Q-tides. We'll take your money.
I came across something earlier. I'm trying to look for it on my phone real quick. Shoot. Somebody said they found QAnon again. Didn't they find QAnon? Whoever was behind it a couple times now already, supposedly.
Yep.
Yeah, well, now it's some guy who's in a film. And I guess he admits it without admitting it.
Okay, but the first thing I would ask is, when's the last time the guy had a gig? Is he doing this just to get his name back out there?
Oh, I don't know.
See, that's the first thing I would think. This guy's nowhere.
You're talking about the journalist, right? Or are you
Yeah,
talking about the
I mean,
guy that's
the actor
claiming to
dude.
not be QAnon, evidently?
But again, it's just diffusion, you know? It's just diffusing the topic. It's just too easy to make the entire operation of it focus on the individuals. It's got fuck all to do with what the idea of it was, etc., and the damage it's done and continues to do. But look, we found somebody and we're telling you it's their fault.
Yeah.
So now that's all we should talk about. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep finding somebody said this was the guy behind QAnon. There's a woman behind QAnon. Sorry.
But
I
yeah,
was
I
choking
mean,
for a minute.
I would be predisposed to think that these are just publicity stunts anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's went far enough where even if they found a real person and it was something really weird, they would keep believing how they want to believe. It's how these people are. They're sick. They're easily manipulated.
Well, I mean,
And oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I mean, I was big on the Dunning-Kruger 2020. Well, it ain't slowing down. I don't know if there's anything that's going to slow that phenomenon down.
Yeah, but I mean, they're like, it just seems like these conspiracy theory things are just growing online, and like people you wouldn't even believe would be believing this crap is talking about it, and I'm like, wow, where did you get this from? I'm just seeing it a lot more.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we wouldn't have had COVID, if we wouldn't have had such a change in the way society operates day to day, if so many tens of millions of people didn't all of a sudden have nothing better to do a lot of the time than look for shit on the internet, it wouldn't be at the stage it's at now either. I mean, I was listening to something the other day and people were kind of talking about the same thing. And to me, it just seemed like Marshall McLuhan is still right. The media is the message. All these issues we have right now with the QAnon bullshit and everything else and the cults of personality with these nobody, know nothing politicians suddenly having a national platform without smartphones
You know
and
how
the
Matt
internet,
Gates. Oh, what?
without the ease of accessing this stuff with either your smartphone or through internet at home or whatever, all it does is benefit that. It makes the internet stronger. It makes carriers stronger. You know what I mean? It's just shifting more and more of the dependence to them. The media is the message. They'll just change the bullshit that's on the media whenever they have to. It's all about keep using us. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so, there's people that are just really dishonest about a lot of things too. Like you have people that'll cut things out, just show parts of videos. I mean, the police are famous for that,
Yep.
trying to sway public opinion. Look at that little jackass in Portland, Andy No or whatever.
Yep.
He took a video of these cats harassing people, threatening them, pulling guns, beating people up, trying to run people down. And then when they finally got surrounded toward the end and stuff jumped off, they made it look like they were cowering for their lives, had to pull a gun because everyone wanted to beat up an old man. He didn't play the whole first part of that video.
Yep.
Someone else released that days later. But think of all the damage these things do. Or when the cops push out one frame of a video where someone's holding their cell phone and it looked like a gun.
Yep.
They're not saying the
Exactly.
cops didn't wait to see him pull it up, to see what it was. They just saw anything and started trying to murder him. It's just,
Absolutely.
And then what happens a year later, 6 months later, once a judge finally demands they release the video, you see what really happened. You're like, oh, wow. But it's too late. People don't remember all that.
Well, part of the reason people don't remember is how many more have died since then.
Exactly.
And, that's the thing. But again, this is what I mean. The media is the message. When you can take stuff frame by frame and, fraction of a second by fraction of a second on audio, and there are all these tools out there to make it so easy to create your own reality, then that's what the discussion should be about. How it's so easy to alter reality. It's the media, the powers that anybody can harness now to create content. Look at that piece of shit O'Keefe and Veritas. They've been the trailblazers on this sort of thing. But it's just getting slicker and slicker and more available now. And, we can go back to the old Bill Colby quote, there's just too many people interested in not telling the truth these days.
Yeah. I mean, they were working on the Music to Riot 2 mixtape, some different songs, and we were trying to get a bunch of names, people that were unarmed that the police killed. And man, the list was so big. You just have to randomly pick the 20 or 30 you're going to use.
Wow.
It's insane. It's insane. Other countries don't murder people with knives. They don't unload clips onto them. They arrest them. They might beat them, you know what I mean? But they going to take them to jail.
Yep.
They're not trigger happy. Somebody, anything's a weapon in a cop's mind, and any weapon, they should just unload clips. It's stupid.
But then there are a lot of places where the cops are not allowed to be trigger happy. Because in different systems of government, at the end of the day, if cops are killing people, then probably the Solicitor General or the Minister of Justice, sooner or later, is going to pay for it. And in the U.S., that just doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's it's so ridiculous, man. They murder, and they get off. And you know what's gonna happen. You'll know what's gonna happen on this Chauvin trial when it happens. The people where it's at will know, because there'll be cops all over the place. If he gets off with something light or gets off innocent or whatever, the streets are gonna be flooded with cops. They're gonna delay they do it every time, man. They delay the verdict. Everyone knows what it is already. They're getting ready to attack us when we go out there to protest it. They've been doing that for years. You always know, especially when it's in LA, the cops are everywhere. They're acting all funny. It's not like normal.
Well, that's just it. No city wants to be the next Rodney King. That's the whole thing, That's the whole thing. But I mean, from the evidence that is coming out, and the world is seeing it, and the number and the rank of people within the system that are saying, in a manner of speaking, no, we don't condone this, he murdered him. They're going to hang him out to dry. And like I mentioned before, supposedly the deal that was offered when Bill Barr was the Attorney General and he turned it down, Chauvin was going to go away for at least 10 years. And he was willing to take that deal. So that tells me that there must be more evidence than you can imagine against this guy waiting to come out. If they don't basically take him off the streets for the rest of his life, then they can reap what they sow. I mean, I think it's going to come down to basically, can Minneapolis weather a weak verdict? I don't think they can. And I think they know it. And I think if there is going to be one that actually gets what they deserve, this guy might be the one, because it would send a new message. And just like Joe and Kamala want everybody to stay indoors and remain calm because we're in charge now, that would be one of the best ways to do it. Imagine all the political mileage they could get out of this. You know, because I mean, I've said it before on the show. It's another problem I have with the way the U.S. works. This is a murder trial in Minneapolis, but yet there's a whole shitload of people in Washington, D.C. paying more attention to it than people in Minneapolis. So, you know, I mean, all I'll say is if he does not go away for the rest of his life, then anything that happens, you guys fucking asked for it.
True. You know, if people are going to go in the chat and make a baseless claim, then you ask them what city they're saying is Republican, 75% Republican, and doesn't have any problems like any of these quote unquote Democratic cities. You ask what city and they can't answer, you already won that one. So I'm moving on.
Gee, that one's kind of old now, isn't it? Because, you know, wasn't it supposed to be Portland and Seattle and there are all these Antifa commie cities that Trump was going to cut off from funding? That's where that shit came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well,
no more true now than it was then.
Well, as far as us anarchists go, Biden's our enemy now. Trump's gone.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
new fascists just came into power, and that's who we're forced to deal with.
Yeah, now we got Frosted Flakes instead of cornflakes.
Yeah, and it sucks because Biden doesn't just scream racist epithets all the time and, you know, praise Nazis. So people think, oh, he's such a great guy.
Yep.
But he's a horrible, horrible white supremacist. He's no different. He's the kinder, gentler fascist, I guess, right?
No, I don't know, man. Anytime somebody wants to talk about Biden's real record, still, just like I've said, probably 6 weeks ago now, there's always one thing that pops to my mind first: Anita Hill. That'll always, I just can't forget that. I just can't forget those hearings on Clarence Thomas and Biden being the sanctimonious dickwad, just like Rand Paul is these days. Same thing.
But you have these Biden apologists. Like, so what, he wrote the Clinton crime bill? That was a long time ago. So what, he voted for every single war, Republican or Democrat? That was pretty long ago. So what if he's touched all these women in weird ways? He didn't do anything really wrong. You know what I mean? They just go on and on and on and on. Your dude is a white supremacist, fascist, warmonger. And that's the truth. Sorry, Democrats.
Yep.
You don't win any brownie points for anything. You're not a higher form of morality or anything else. You're just the same as the Republicans in reverse.
Well, not even reverse, just on the other side of the fucking road. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's it.
We do atrocities better than you do.
Yep. Well,
we do them with
it's
style and dignity.
We manufacture friendlier consent.
Okay, when there's a genocide, the Democrats will be more dignified than the Republicans.
Exactly. Exactly.
They'll execute people in more humane ways than the Republicans. There's the difference, right?
Exactly.
We've had concentration camps under both parties. We need to end that now, but we're not going to. It's going to keep doing the same garbage, and these people are going to support it. And then when the next Republican comes in, they'll be like, yay, now we can finally be happy about torturing immigrants again. It's just stupid, man. Hypocrites. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites. Party people suck.
Empire doesn't change. The only way to change it is lose your lust to be an empire. That's it. It's the only way it changes. But, you know,
Yep.
what do I know, right? Well, should we do sponsors?
Yeah, it seems like we've been here 10 minutes, but we've actually been here almost an hour.
A ringing endorsement, I guess.
Yeah. But for real, people, I mean, I know a troll's a troll, but like, if you're a serious person and you want to make some kind of, I mean, if you're screaming a bunch of racist BS, I'm not going to respond to you. But if you have what you believe to be a legitimate claim or think I'm wrong about something, just put it in there and I'll explain why I think you're wrong, or maybe you'll change my mind on it. Who knows? But yeah, don't make a claim about something and then don't respond when I ask you, what city? What are you talking about? That's just some cowardly BS troll stuff. So
You are.
you want to go trick or treating? Oh man. So yeah, hang on. Let me get this the groovy sponsor music right.
All right.
There's the groovy sponsor music. I better find out what the hell I'm so. You want me to go first? 'Cause I'm holding it in my hand.
Oh, it sounds like you're ready.
What you've heard me choking on today is Zuki's Cured Resin Crumble. Shit is fire, man. Go
Oh,
ahead, Blake.
all you whippersnappers with these new ways to do old things. Yeah. Oh, that sounds pretty potent,
Well, you
shall we
don't
say?
you don't dab, bro?
No, I don't.
Do you even dab, bro? That's what I meant to say.
No, I do not. I do not. I'm a fundamentalist. I'm a cannabis fundamentalist.
OG status.
Today is brought to you by Kosher Kush and Chiquita Banana.
You've been rolling with that Chiquita for a while. That must be the bomb.
Yeah, I didn't just buy a couple grams, let's put it that way. So, yeah, I'll have it for a while, and yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit.
Good shit is the best shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
And there you go. There you go. The figures that's the comment that brought him into the chat. There you go, Spreaker chat.
Smoker. See, this if this is a lovable troll right here. I'm sure there's people he trolls that don't love him. I just don't happen to be one of them. Anyway, yeah, Smoke, you came in for the tail end. We were talking about you earlier. So yeah, anything else we missed?
That was just idle speculation. That's the best way to say that. And then it creates demand because, wow, what the fuck did he say? I better go back and listen. I don't know. I mean, I guess throw a tangent in the air, see if it sticks. I don't know. We didn't have much fucking plan anyway, so.
That's true. Today it was like we had to talk about Dr. Jill Biden's stockings. That was a big news story of the week. just in case you weren't here at the beginning, we're gonna have a show, 2 more shows this week. MNOO shows. That's my non-objective opinion. One's gonna be with Cat that films police. It's at Film the Police on Twitter, and the other one is going to be with Bushido Squirrel again about street medics and activism in general, but with the specific eye on being a street medic. So that's coming up, and one will be on Friday, maybe 10 or 11 Pacific time. And the other one, we're not sure yet when that one's gonna be, but we'll be with Bushido Squirrel on Friday. I don't know. Anything else? Or should we just wrap it up?
It's WrestleMania week. See what the next 10 years of American politics will play out like.
Do you still do wrestle shows or no?
No, I don't host any shows anymore.
Oh, man. We'll complain about that next week.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, people on Twitch. I'm cutting you off now. You're awesome, even if you're trolls. But if you're racist, you suck, and I hope you die.